This is our review here of Ford versus Ferrari. Myself and Ben Bateman saw it, so we'll be going over what we saw. The director, James Mangold, obviously from Logan.
310 to Yuma.
310 to Yuma. He's done so much.
Kate and Leopold.
That one I wouldn't have brought that as the reference. But this guy he's making a presence and making a statement as a director, because this movie's like 2.5 hours and I didn't even feel that.
Yeah,
it was
compelling from start to finish.
You are locked in from beginning, and at one point I'm going, this is like a near perfect movie to me, because the story, it's when he say Ford versus Ferrari, yes. It is the fact that Ford was making all of these cars, but Ferrari was going out of business, or not going out of business, but bankrupt, but had the love and the passion in this car and had been making that race car, and Ford wanted to get into the game. They tried to buy Ferrari, and Ferrari says, nope, don't need you, does something else, and then the races begin, but now it pisses off Ford, and Ford's like, okay, let's go find the team to do it. Matt Damon is an ex-racer who won this event that they want to win, but he can't. Something's happened to him. He's not able to do it. He now manufactures cars, and he sells cars, but he's still a legend, and people respect him, and he's successful. And then you got Bale, who is making a career out of doing these kind of roles, where he's just kind of like the lowly mechanic, but he can race, and he's got that, he's like a hidden, he's kind of disheveled and skinny, and
yeah.
The family dynamic with Bale was, and I don't know if it's because I'm a family man, but like the dynamic that he had with his wife and his kid. My God, those were so endearing. He's endearing. He's obnoxious. He's funny. This is one of his best roles I've ever seen him in. And their back and forth was so good. How did you feel about the movie?
Yeah, it was really endearing. I mean, from early on, the fact that he's doing it for his family, and then that's so what he cares about. And he wins that first race, the very first one, right? The kind of movie opens, and the way his kid is there, and it sort of punctuates the whole movie.
Yeah.
That's what happens at the beginning there, but. This movie feels so much like what Hollywood used to be comfortable pushing for Best Picture. It used to be this way. You think about movies like a lot of those like Ron Howard movies. Like you think about a movie like Beautiful Mind, or like Cinderella.
Rush got a push. Rush got a push. It didn't do very well in theaters, but it got a push.
Yeah, and like it's those movies where it's not trying to do something that's crazy divisive, or it's not trying to do something that's like changing culture. You look at Moonlight. That's a great movie for exactly what it's trying to do, but it is not trying to be Ford versus Ferrari. Right. Not even close. It's not trying to even touch the same genre. This is the kind of movie where, like, I think you could show this to almost anyone and they would enjoy it. I could show this to my mom, my dad. I could show this to a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
The racing is fantastic. The performances are electric. I loved it so much. It's the kind of movie that makes me happy to be a movie fan.
Yeah.
It's not. It reminds you that every movie doesn't have to be like this, like iconoclast, culture-changing piece of art. It can just be a great script, great performances, and really, really engaging pieces of filmmaking. That's what this movie is.
It absolutely is that. And there's like I said, there's funny moments. There's moments that make you tear up. The way Mangold shoots the actual race car scene,
amazing,
so good. You feel like you're in the car. And I love. There's a scene where Bale is talking to his son about racing, and not to get into the specifics of it, just like you see such a clear-cut vision of why he thinks the way he does, how he acts the way he does. There are great character arcs. There are things that happen to the character of how certain characters start in the beginning and end up at the end. I mentioned the dynamic and the chemistry between Damon and Bale. It has to work in this movie, and it does, which is very interesting when you think about Damon was supposed to play Mickey Ward in The Fighter, and how that was supposed to go. So to see them on screen together was great. The kid who plays Shia LaBeouf in Honey Boy, and he's been in a lot of other things too. He was in
I just saw him
Wonder, and the kid's great. He's one of those actors now. He's popping. He's like the new Jacob Tremblay. He's around all the time, and he's really good. And I don't have the actress's name who plays Bale's wife, but she. There's a scene with them in the car that you get where they are, who they are, how they respect each other as a couple. This was a refreshing movie that I said, I'm going to go because I like Bale and Damon and I want to see the movie, but I didn't expect to love it as much as I did. This is the first time I've done this in a while. It's 5 out of 5 schmoes for me. I love the movie.
Yeah, wow. Mangold is quietly becoming a director who I look forward to his stuff almost more than anyone, because Logan was my favorite movie that year, and really, really spoke to me. And I think the dynamic in this movie that's the most important, and I noticed this pretty early on because it's a true story. Carroll Shelby, he wins Le Mans and then he retires from racing, and you wonder why. And as you mentioned, there's this Bale character who's this lowly mechanic who becomes the racer. So, you've got Damon building the car and this crazy mechanic who's going to race.
Helping you build the car, though, too.
And so from the beginning, you kind of wonder, why is this crazy mechanic who doesn't seem to respect anyone able to work with this guy? And he respects him because he won the Le Mans.
Right.
It creates the relationship from the beginning of the movie where you're like, you know, A respects B so they can work together. That's the only reason this works. There's almost no one in the world he's going to respect, but he respects this guy because he did the thing that he wants to do. And guys like that who believe they're the best, he believes he's the best racer. He's like, I can't really think I'm the best racer because he's done something I've never done before.
Right.
And that's a really cool way to start the movie, and it really makes the relationship sing.
Go see the movie. It is Ford versus Ferrari. And the funny thing is, at some points, I didn't know who I wanted them racing for. I didn't know if I necessarily wanted them because, and I also have to say, Josh Lucas is such a great dick.
It's a shit we call on our shows. We call it a shit weasel. He's the greatest shit weasel
ever. You want, and he's a great actor, and this is a compliment to him. You want to punch him in the mouth every time he is on screen. He is so obnoxious and so awful and such a suit. And also John Barenthal, who plays Lee Iacocca, which anytime you can hear Lee Iacocca's name mentioned out, I'm like, there he is.
Yeah, the cast was fantastic.
It's really good. Go and check it out. Ford versus Ferrari coming out I think this weekend. So check that out.